Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Book of Henry, which is Trevorrow's new film that he directed Jurassic World and will be directing a ninth Star Wars film. And I saw the trailer for this and thought this could be potentially really interesting, and I saw it and absolutely hated it. So right off the bat, there you go. I hated this movie, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to get really into the plot. I'm just going to let you know there's some crazy stuff that happens in this movie, and there's twists and turns that I did not expect. I really didn't. And that is admirable, I guess, in terms of this is a very different kind of story, and I've never really seen a story like this before in a movie, which all for originality, but this was a hot mess. In terms of the storytelling, this was so clunky and just things popped out of nowhere, and it's just like, where the hell did this come from? This wasn't set up and just like boom, 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 all over the place. The pacing was fine. I never once felt bored during this movie, and I'll admit this film is watchable, but also in the back of my head, there's moments of like, you gotta be kidding me. What the hell is this movie even trying to do or say? Because it's about this young man. He's 12. This kid, he's 12 years old. He's super, super smart. And trailers alludes to he helps take care of his mom, and he's trying to help this girl next door who's being molested by her stepdad. And just, it's so much crazier than that, and so much nonsense happens in this movie. In terms of the tone, this is so all over the place, so jarring and uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable watching this movie, and to be perfectly honest, I thought about getting up and walking out because this movie made me feel that uncomfortable. And not in like it's supposed to be making you feel uncomfortable, it just was so jarring and obnoxious and so misguided and mean spirited. And I should have been feeling so much more connected with the emotional beats of this film, but it's so all over the place and jumbled that I didn't connect with what was going on, because there's some heavy emotional moments in this film and they just are kind of lost in the nonsense that's going on. I have to admit the cinematography by John Schwartzman was actually really well done. There's some great camera work. There's some cool shots in this film that I really enjoyed. And overall, the framing of all the shots was really well done. Cinematography is a standout of this film where there's not a whole lot of standouts. In terms of the writing, this script was by Greg Hurwitz, who apparently is a crime novelist. And this feels like a cheap, like, $2 crime novel garbage that came out of nowhere. The story is completely ridiculous and unbelievable. There's so many points that don't make any sense. They're completely ridiculous. The characters are so unbelievable. This mom, Naomi Watts' character, the mother, is supposed to be like, she's a great mom and she's a cool mom, but let's forget the fact that she's neglectful and a terrible mother and alcoholic and enables her alcoholic friend, and yeah, pretty bad. And honestly, the main point of this movie, which is surprising, it's not Henry, it's the mother and her trying to figure out how to be a good mother and really taking charge of that. But so much cheap movie nonsense happens in this film to lead up to that payoff and that resolution and that growth that it feels so unearned and just nonsense and ridiculous. And honestly, it's hard for me to believe this movie it was actually made, because who greenlit this script? And on some, I guess, morbid level, it's like watching this movie is like watching a train wreck, and it's like I kind of can't look away, but then I'm so ashamed of this movie that I almost wanted to leave, and it feels so weird and wrong in so many ways. And then getting to the music, Michael Giacchino does this score for this, and it's great. It's well done. It's like the cinematography, one of the few things that actually works in this movie. And then the acting. So the characters are so unbelievable, and so much of the acting is so ridiculous, and like I have to say Naomi Watts and Sarah Silverman, Dean Norris, and Lee Pace, who are the adult actors in this film, they do what they're supposed to with the characters that they're given, but it's just so absurd and unbelievable that it's just like I can't connect with any of them. And then the child actors, Jaden Lieberher and Jacob Tremblay, do great jobs with the nonsense that they're given. And Henry is so unbelievable as a character that it's just like I can't really connect with him. Overall, this movie really, really made me angry. It's so misguided, and like I don't want to give away plot points and stuff like that, so I'm not going to get into that. But the stuff that happens and how twisted the themes are in this movie, and how bad so many of the adults in this movie are, and just so ridiculous. And this kid who's written to the point where he's supposed to be smarter than all the adults in the room and is completely fake, just non-existent. This is such a movie character. I'm really, really disappointed by this film, and I have to give The Book of Henry an F.